Hello, my name is Miriam Bender, and this is a video on the foundations of Mr. Gardner's history class. In this video, I will talk all about the different aspects that take place during your year in history class. I'm currently in 10th grade, and this is my second semester video project, which I'll talk about more later on. To start off this video, Mr. Gardner has a page on the Heritage School website, which is located under the bulletin board. Presented is a schedule for the week and what each day of learning will include and look like. Mr. Gardner's class is all about fun and engaging in history itself. This class is meant to be inclusive and fun for everyone. Throughout the year, you will go through the times of 1492 when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean to the year 2001 when 9/11 occurred. In the first semester, you will start your learning off by talking about the native tribes that ruled over the New World at the time and tales of Pocahontas. New towns such as Plymouth and Jamestown will also be discussed as more people start coming into America. The next big event that you will learn about is the American Revolution, which has a lot of aspects to it. Famous names such as Alexander Hamilton, George Washington, and Benjamin Franklin will be discussed. Going into the second semester, you will start off by talking about Abraham Lincoln and what happened during the years of his presidency. Slavery in America will also be a large topic as it led into the Civil War and later events. Following up comes the time period of the late 1800s and early 1900s, during the time of the Wild West, Industrial Age, and stock market crash. During each of the 2 semesters, there will be a semester project worth 500 points. The first semester project is of your family ancestry. The contents of this project will have you finding out your family ancestors that could date all the way back to the 1300s. Mr. Gardner comes up with questions based on your family tree, and you will be making a slideshow presentation in which you show evidence of how you relate to a person. This project is so fascinating because it allows you to go beyond the borders of the ancestors you know and find a relative you never knew you could be related to. For the second semester project, you will be picking any historical event between the time of the Civil War and 9/11 to create a 10-minute long video. What you are currently watching is my video project for this semester. There are multiple options for this project. The most popular is creating a video based upon a historical event. Although, there is also a field trip option where you can go to a location or 2 and then make a slideshow presentation about it. Other options include a claymation, Lego stop motion, an escape room, or a day where you can create your own time machine. Mr. Gardner's classroom is set up in a horseshoe shape in order to keep everyone engaged and paying attention. At the front of the classroom is where Mr. Gardner's desk and podium is, which is where he teaches. The entirety of the class period is spent learning. Around the classroom you will find lots of pictures and portraits. Every picture is important and historical. Some of these include the sailor's kiss, the unfinished painting of FDR, and family ancestry portraits. In total, there are 4 days of the week that history class meets. The first day of the week is spent learning about the time period. Mr. Gardner uses slideshow presentations to explain the information. Day 2 is where you present to Mr. Gardner a sophisticated question based on the information obtained from the previous day. These questions are critical thinking questions that Mr. Gardner should not be able to fully answer. Day 3 is time machine. The entire class is involved in conversation and debate in which they are speaking as though they are from a specific time. Day 4 is assessment day. This day starts with taking an online assessment, which is questions about the information from the week. The remaining class time of the last day is spent working on the semester project. I'm here with one of my classmates, Aaron, and he's going to be answering some questions for me. So Aaron, what was your favorite part of Mr. Gardner's class?
Well, I'd say it's definitely probably the easiness and the fun of it. There's no reason that learning history should be so hard. And this class that we had, it's definitely proof of that. A lot of others are going to say the same thing, people who've taken this class.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what was your favorite assignment of Mr. Gardner's history class, and why did you enjoy it?
I'm trying to remember that. Okay, that's definitely when we were studying the Wild West. We had a time machine. It was all we were doing was just playing gambling games and drinking root beer. Like we were playing poker, we were playing blackjack, you know, and then that's just not something you would expect from an ordinary classroom. That kind of assignment, it opens to your mind to how people were thinking back then and how they enjoyed life.
Okay, and what was the biggest misconception you had about Mr. Gardner's class at the beginning of the year, and why did you change your opinion?
I definitely remember that answer. It was at the first day of school on question day. He was grading us all of our questions on as if we were late into the year, right? And it seemed like no matter every question we asked, it seemed like it was either too sophisticated or there was an answer to it. And it seems like there was no middle ground. But then as the year went on, I came to realize that, you know, it's really not that hard to come up with a question that you just can't answer.
Yeah. All right, and in one word, describe Mr. Gardner's history class.
Fun. That's what he was aiming for, so I may as well say it.
What was the most challenging assignment you had this year, and why?
Most challenging assignment? I would say, well, it's an overall easy class. So I'd probably say it's just a semester exam back in December. You know, having to write 6 essays by hand, each with 100 words, it really just hurts your hand.
If you could teach Mr. Gardner's class for a day, what topic would you pick?
What topic would I pick? You know, I don't know. I could pick one topic. We only have like 1 week to cover each topic. You know, personally, I don't think I just can't teach anything. But you know, if a subject about U.S. history were to come up, I would definitely know about all the details of it. And that's definitely the goal of the class.
So what did you remember learning this year about Mr. Gardner's history class, and what surprised you the most?
One thing I remember learning. One surprising fact I remember is actually while we were studying the Civil War, what he told us was Robert E. Lee. He had a reason to fight for the Confederates. You know, he just didn't want to fight against people from his homeland. You know, that's really reasonable. And as I grew up, I always thought Robert E. Lee was just some old dude. He was fighting just to defend slavery for the heck of it. You know, I thought he was a bad person because of that. And that's what a lot of others still think. You know, I think Mr. Gardner just broke that kind of biased thinking. You know, he got that thing from a neutral standpoint in history.
That's good. And last question, what is the one thing you're going to miss about Mr. Gardner?
What I'm going to miss the most, as I said, as my favorite part, the easiness and the fun. That's because, you know, I really don't want to go back to just doing these boring worksheets and reading these textbooks by the chapter each night, and I want to keep the fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I won't have to miss it too bad because I'm going to have him in Econ and Gov next year, so that's good for me.
Yeah. Hello, I'm here with another one of my classmates, Sears, and she'll be continuing my interview. So Sears, what was your favorite part of Mr. Gardner's class?
My favorite part of Mr. Gardner's history class was probably Time Machine Day. I found it very interesting and enjoyable that we got to go back in time and fully immerse ourselves in the time period we were learning about that week.
Sears, what was your favorite assignment of Mr. Gardner's class?
My favorite assignment that we've done this year would be the family history project, because before going into the project I had no idea about my family history, and it was very interesting finding out who I was related to and who my ancestors were, and it was also very rewarding after all those hours I put into that.
What was the most challenging assignment?
The most challenging assignment would also be the family history project, just because it took so much time and effort, and it was kind of hard getting to the right people for like who we were related to, but overall it was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it.
My favorite aspects of the class include how much fun I have and how much I learn. This class never fails to teach history while making it enjoyable. My favorite part of the class so far is the time machine days. My favorite time machine was the Lewis and Clark expedition, when we got to go on a sort of scavenger hunt around the school and write down our findings. Another one of my favorite parts of this class was time machine days, and we would be able to debate with each other and be able to wear colonial hats as that we were part of that time. Thank you to everyone for watching my video on the intro and foundations to Mr. Gardner's history class. I hope this video helped to prepare you for his expectations and that you will go on to enjoy this class just as much as previous students and myself.